As we talked about last week, Donald Trump was exposed, utterly exposed, by new information from the Department of Justice proving that in his last days as president, he and his allies put direct pressure on the Department of Justice to put their finger on the scale to help him stay in power, to basically say that the contest was corrupt, which would allow Trump and the Republicans the ability to somehow stop Biden from his rightful access to the presidency. But now not only are lawyers saying that Trump almost certainly committed at least a couple crimes in the process, the Washington Post is reporting that a top witness is ready to take Trump down.
You're a lawyer. Is this evidence of illegal activity by the former president?
It certainly looks like it. I will say it's one of the most outrageous and dastardly things that I've ever seen in my life. It is something that I think people at home should be able to see on its face as something that's very problematic. It's very disturbing stuff, and there are federal laws, federal criminal laws actually, that prohibit efforts to try to interfere with an election of the president. There's also laws that prohibit coercing employees in the federal government to engage in political activity. That sure looks a lot like a partisan effort. So very, very concerning stuff.
I mean,
So in that clip from CNN there, you hear a lawyer very clearly saying that, one, even beyond the pure criminal aspect of this is a gross attack on democracy. That Donald Trump, from a moral perspective at least, is an absolute monster here, and he needs to be condemned by any decent person in the United States or around the world that believes in democracy. But they specifically note that there are a couple crimes here of the president putting direct pressure on a public official to sort of interfere with democracy in a blatant partisan manner and in a blatant manner that benefits himself personally. Those are felony crimes. And what's crucial here is we have a new star witness. This is on top, of course, of all the witnesses involved in the Trump Corporation crimes or in Trump's personal tax crimes. But now we have Richard Donoghue. Richard Donoghue is one of the people that Trump was trying to pressure from the DOJ in those final days, in those two key moments where Trump at first tried to get people like Donoghue to say it was corrupt, and they said they wouldn't do it, and they couldn't change the result even if they wanted to. And then a little bit after that, Trump and his cronies drafted a letter that they wanted to send to officials in Georgia and other swing states to basically get them to either cancel their certification or delay it by saying there were quote-unquote irregularities. And people like Donoghue and others at the DOJ refused to sign the letter. And thankfully they did that, because if they signed it, it would have been a massive headache for America's democracy. And so now you have these records. You have Donoghue, a man to his credit, I know he served under Trump, but a man to his credit that when asked by Trump to spit on democracy, rejected the request, being on all these documents, directly saying that, no, sir, I will not lie about the election for you to the American people or to other elected officials. And this has to terrify Trump, because this is a person from within a Republican administration ready to say that Donald Trump pressured me in an illegal manner and I rejected him for the good of democracy. This really is the kind of thing that could take Trump down. And let's be clear, as good as it would be for Trump to go down for tax or corporate crimes, his most severe crimes were against the American people. And that's the one he should ultimately pay the price for.